Okay, here we are. Darchei Hadvekus BeMe'orei Ohr. I'm not even sure how to properly translate it, so I hope anyone who has a better translation than me will, but I'll look into it. Right now, seems like it's the pathways of attachment. Hadvekus BeMe'orei Ohr. Me'orei could be the luminaries in the sky, but it implies rays that come off of light. So the pathways of attachment to the rays of light, to the sources of light, to the light that shines off of the light, to the luminaries, to the radiant light. Let me know your thoughts, but nonetheless, let's dive in. Beis HaMikdash Haya Ha'or Shel Am Yisrael. So the Holy Temple, the Beit HaMikdash, remember we had one in the time of King Solomon, then we had a second one for the Judeans that came back around 2,000 something years ago. And Makom, and this Beis HaMikdash was the light of the people of Israel. Makom Sha'af Yad Lo Yachla Liga Bo. It was a place that no one could touch or disrupt. It was like protected. It had a force field around it. No nations could destroy it, and no one could enter it without permission. Ad Shenase Ba'am Yisrael Richuk Mitoras Chaim Ufered Halavavos. This special magical force field that existed around our temple, where no one could disrupt it, existed all the way until the children of Israel we distance ourselves from the Torah Chaim, the Torah of life, like the Torah itself. We distance ourselves from the Torah of life. I mean, there is called the Torah of death. If someone is a rabbi and just becomes a rabbi to be an egotistical ruler and get money and then abuse people, it's like, yeah, that's called the Torah of death. He's using the Torah as death. But the Torah of life, we distance ourselves from, and our hearts were separated, or our hearts started to become distant from one another, and even from ourselves. There was a perud in the hearts. There was a separation. Shegaram l'chibroi b'me'orei ohr, and it caused to put out the rays of light that were coming off, the radiant light that was coming out of the temple. It was extinguished. V'shiltum me'orei ha'esh, and what now ruled in place of this radiant light was light from fire. So at first we had light from light, and now light from fire. Me'orei ha'esh ruled over us. This is like metaphysical, but not. We're going to understand totally what he's talking about as the pathways go on, but for now I'm just trying to translate it as best I can. And on this exact regard is why there are wars in every single generation. Always trying to swap out the luminaries of light with luminaries of fire, and vice versa. There's a battle between the people who are illuminated from fire, like Neanderthal, the fire people, and Me'orei Ohr. The Israelites are well-refined people who are spiritually pure and refined. This is the battle of every generation between these two forces, the radiance of light from light, or the radiance of light from fire. Like, you're going to tell me what light existed thousands of years ago that wasn't fire. Hold all the questions, we're going to get into it. Shebesha'as ha'churban, from the time of the destruction of the temple, Me'orei ha'esh nimtzayim b'makom ha'mikdash. Since the destruction of the temple, illumination from fire has now been found on the site of the Holy Temple. So all the way for thousands of years, there's humans who get light from fire, not light from light. And whoever can clearly see, or has good vision, you can see there in the site of the Beit HaMikdash all the smoke and fire. I think the Yanuka could be talking about the remnants of the destruction of the temple. We see the burn marks and the ashes. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Like, we see that they burnt it down, they brought in fire. We had their light and then they brought in fire. Woo, heavy. And it's on us to bring out the lighters of fire, the people who get illumination from fire, from within the temple to outside. We got to clear out the spot of the temple, of where the Jerusalem is, to these people who are occupying it. We got to bring them to the outside. And we have to bring in to the holy temple the ones who get illuminated from light, who are now found outside amongst the nations of the world in exile. We got to do a swap-a-roo. As my friend calls it, a swap-a-roni and cheese. It's got to be swapped. Ulahachnis oisam lebeis hamikdash, and we got to insert the light bringers, the people who emanate light from light, into the Beit Hamikdash. Like, there's we'll see later, but remember when Moses was coming down from the mountain, it said his face was light, it was glowing, he had to cover his face because it was shining light. So this is we're discussing metaphysical things that have different implications. It's not just talking about concepts we don't get, but hold on. We got to bring the light bringers inside of the Beit HaMikdash, the ones who get illuminated from real light, not fire. Lachein kasiv, and therefore it's written, La'asid lavo, in the time to come, it's written in the prophets, in the book of the prophets, Ve'ani la ne'um Hashem choimas eish saviv ulechavod besocha. It says in the book of the prophets, God says, I shall be for you, Ne'um Hashem, I shall be for you, God, a wall of fire surrounding, is referring to the temple, and my grace, my honor, my presence will be in the inside. So God says, in the future, the fire will be outside the temple and I will be inside the temple. Right now, the fire's inside and God's outside. Hold down. Okay, let's wrap it up. We're in the last sentence. So what does it mean? Shashem Baruch Hu Yoitzias Moria Eish. God will take away and take out the illuminations, the luminaries, the people who get light from fire, Me'Yushalayim, from Jerusalem. They're out of Jerusalem. You're gone. And he will place them outside to guard them. They will be protected. No one's going to get destroyed. You're just out. You can't stay in here. You'll be protected. And, time out. Let me reread that. I think they will be put around to protect the temple. So the fire illumination guys are going to get taken out of the temple, brought outside the temple, put around it, and will protect the temple. How do we know? It's written, and my grace and my honor will be in it, BeMe'orei Ohr, and this is juxtaposed and referring to the luminaries of light. So the Yanuka is not just telling us his own opinion on something, he's showing us in the prophecies, this is part of our religion, that we believe in the future the people occupying the Temple Mount, who are people who get light from fire, will be placed outside of it, and they will be there to guard and protect the light inside the temple, which will be light from actual light, not from fire, and God's presence will be within it. This is a very cryptic opening, but it gets super interesting as we go in, so everyone please hold on. I love you all so much. Sorry for taking a long time. This could have taken a little bit less, but it's a complicated piece, so I'm just trying to talk it out. Over and out.